Welcome, human geographers. We're going to talk about the third pillar in human geography, religion. We talked about languages last chapter, and prior to that, we talked about ethnicity or race. So those comprise the three pillars of human geography. So what is religion? Social system, set of beliefs and practices. People seek harmony with the universe, forces of nature, life, and death. We see such types of monuments or buildings or devoted areas to religion. We have different ways that we can classify religion. Such things as different types of language or religions, such as Mormonism, Scientology. The term cult should be used cautious because of mind control. Proselytic or universal religions, Christianity, Islam, very large religions, ethnic religions. That kind of feeds into our discussion we had as far as the three pillars of human geography. Monotheism, worshiping only one God, many gods, polytheistic, syncretic, orthodox, strands within major religions, emphasize purity of faith. Sample here of St. Patrick. Fundamentalism, essentially when you are devoted to a certain religion, rather than orthodoxy. Orthodoxy we talked about in the previous slide as far as being pure. Okay, we're going to get into regions a little bit. Regions and religions frequently vary by regions. A lot of this has to do with the colonial influence through the 15th and 16th centuries, and basically migratory patterns through time. So here's how much religion we have in the world. Christianity, Islam being the largest. Hindu is pretty large also. Judaism, 4,000-year-old religion. Parent of Christianity, also closely related to Islam. Not proselytic. Result of diaspora or forced dispersal of the Jews from Palestine in Roman times. Christianity, a proselytic faith also, world's largest religion. Christianics are monotheistic, believe in one God. Because Judaism is parent of Christianity, two faiths share many elements. It's been fragmented, there's different factions of it. For instance, Roman Catholics, Protestants, Eastern Christians. Here's a sample of that, breaking it down to Christianity, United States. Then we have Islam, proselytic religion also. Monotheists worship one God, Allah, founded by Muhammad. Quran, Islam's holy book, also serves as the basis of Islamic or Sharia law. And two fragmented groups, Shiites and Sunni. We see that varying quite a bit, like in Iraq and Iran. Prayer 5 times a day, give alms or zakat to the poor, fasting dawn to sunset, make at least one pilgrimage to sacred city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Belief in Allah, one whose prophet was Muhammad. There's different factions of that, whether Muhammad was here prior or coming along the lines of that. Okay, Hinduism, social division and castes, closely tied to India. Polytheistic religion, believing in many gods, recognizing one supreme God. All Hindus share a belief in reincarnation. Sample there. Jainism and Sikhism, forms of Hinduism. Claims 4 million adherents. Jainism, Sikhism arose in the 1500s to attempt to unify Hinduism and Islam. So here we're kind of seeing like spin-off of languages, if you will, or religions, sorry. Hinduism is parent of Buddhism. So kind of like Judaism is a parent of Christianity. Okay, Taoic religions, see this in China, Confucianism. Shinto, state religion of Japan. Animism, frequently see this in Africa and other tribal areas. Okay, so mobility, culture hearth, focused on a geographic area where innovations are born and important. Semitic religious hearth. All three of the great monotheistic faiths share the same Holy Land, if you will. Tends to be a point of contentions. Religion spread several ways: relocation, expansion, diffusion. Christianity initially spread through the Roman Empire. Christian missionaries going throughout the world. Contact conversion, coming in contact. A lot of that was through colonialism. East Asian religions, we talked about Taoism, Confucius, small disciples, convince rulers to put his ideas into practice. Confucianism, Taoism, talked about those. Pilgrimages, journeys to a place of religious importance, usually blocking off a specific amount of time. Travel, like we talked about Mecca in Saudi Arabia, which we see right here in this slide. And globalization, so globalization frequently means spreading or going throughout the world. Latin America, Caribbean, Roman Catholicism was dominated. That's a lot of the colonial period, 1400s, which I alluded to earlier. Latin Americans or Middle America tends to adopt Catholicism. Religion on the internet, you can see that. Relevance in the world, Gallup poll reviewed 69% of Americans review themselves very or moderately religious. It's more than half. Importance of religion, secular areas, whether they believe in God or not. Nature, culture. So we talked about this as far as tying into nature and essentially heritage, or where people are from and their beliefs. Feng Shui literally mean wind and water, refers to balancing opposing forces. So this is kind of the nature. Impacts of belief systems, plants and animals. Different beliefs on that. Ecotheology, study of influence of religious beliefs on habitat modification. Ecotheology, several different beliefs around this as far as different religions. The Gaia hypothesis, including all living things in land, water in which they live. Gaia functions as a living organism. Megachurch, so large organizations built. Faithful details, see different structures. A lot of architecture, if you will, of buildings is influenced by churches and religious beliefs. Sacred spaces. Okay, so that's all I have with you. I hope you enjoyed that chapter. It's pretty interesting. Just travel around the world quite a bit like we do in each chapter in this class. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we will catch you next chapter.